Students, this is a really big topic, one that comes up all the time in the exams in a range of different spots. It is about innovation. So this will be a bit of a long video because we're going to go through the role of innovation. We're also going to go through the benefits of innovation and the factors that impact on the success. So we know that innovation really is essential for modern business in the global market because really it gives a business or aids a business in either gaining or maintaining competitive advantage, and that is really where all businesses should be heading, and because that's where money and profits lie. So the role of innovation is multifaceted. It basically does give you that competitive advantage over your rivals. It could be through product innovation, which may enable you to enter new markets. It may be through process innovation, which may cut your costs and improve productivity, or service innovation, which again may help you enter new markets, or gain new customers through different product offerings, or for that matter, extend the product life cycle of existing products. So in the syllabus, it does specifically mention three types. So product, process, and service. And in previous exams, the examiner has picked on all of them, or one. So it's important you know the difference between them. So product innovation is the creation of a new product or improvements to existing products. So sometimes you could call that disruptive innovation, where you really change an industry through the creation of a new product, or incremental innovation, where you are continually making improvements to existing products. So, the easiest example is the introduction of the iPhone was a disruptive innovation because it was a completely new product in the market and it revolutionized the way we think about phones. We're up to iPhone 16, which is incremental innovation, continually improving existing products to meet the needs of the market, to meet the consumer demand, and we're continually extending the product life cycle through incrementally innovating and adding new features, new solutions to each product. Process innovation is really the other side. So this is the business continually trying to change and improve how it operates, how it manufactures a product, how it distributes it, markets it. There's a lot involved in process innovation, and potentially it could lead to better products as well. So the role of process innovation really is about costs. So the better you can produce your product, the cheaper it's going to be, which leads to financial growth. It will allow you potentially to be more productive, and again, it might help improve in distribution by getting your product to the customer quicker. This may give you an advantage over your rivals if you can do it better, cheaper, faster, more efficiently. Fantastic for you. Process innovation, really when you get into things like quality management in Unit 4, process innovation is really quality improvement. Or it's associated with quality improvement, that drive to continually improve your processes. Service innovation is basically how, similar to product, I guess, except it's a service. And again, it's innovation with the goal of maintaining an advantage in an industry. I would argue service innovation is things like Uber, maybe Netflix, where those two in particular really disrupted the market or created. If you think about Uber, even in Western Australia, it completely revolutionized the way we think about transport without a car. And since then, if you think about Uber as an example, they've continually updated their service offerings. They've provided Uber One. They've gone to Uber Eats. I mean, Uber was the start, but that innovation has continued, and they're still seeking, despite other competitions from Didi and others, to maintain that advantage in their industry through their refinements to their service offerings. So if we assume that businesses innovate, and why do they do it? Because there's a range of benefits. So this is never ending, really, the range of benefits, but the three that you have to frame your answer to in the exam and your assessments is financial gain, expansion of global market presence, and increased market share. I would strongly suggest you learn that terminology and incorporate it into your answers, because potentially you will not get full marks If you just generically or generally write about a benefit or more profit, great. If you use the terminology from the syllabus, the person marking your exam, I think, looks far more favourably. While this student's done the work, they know the terminology that they need to use. The three clearly overlap. So financial gain is fairly obvious. Through innovation, if you are gaining new customers, you are going to achieve financial gain. If your innovation is disruptive and really causes a change, maybe you can premium price it, thus increasing your margins. Incremental innovation continues to extend the product life cycle, and that continues to generate money for you. Financial gain can be achieved through innovation in meeting customer demands and continually, operating in the most productive way also leads to financial gain by lowering your costs. If you are successfully innovating, you are expanding your presence around the globe because potentially that innovation may make you visible in global markets. And if you market it successfully, then your spread in the world of e-commerce will be global before you know it. So it can lead to global success in markets when it engages or when the innovation is engaged with technology through the e-commerce portal, potentially allowing for a very smooth online experience for its customers. The innovation may allow you to improve your distribution and supply chain, thereby increasing your presence successfully all around the globe. The next one, really, market share, financial gain, they kind of go together. But obviously, as you are maintaining that competitive advantage, you are going to increase your market share by pulling customers to you away from your rivals because you have achieved an advantage over others. You have to continue that innovation, however, to maintain that market share. And if you're doing it right, you may well build a reputation as a brand associated with innovation, potentially like Apple, where that market share continues to grow because that becomes the image or the business public image which people see. Okay, next part is that there are some limiting factors, and to be honest, they're a little tricky to understand, and the wording of the syllabus and the explanation here is pretty yuck sometimes, but let's run through them anyway. First one is actually quite easy. So you've got to be careful when releasing your innovation or your product to market because if, for example, during COVID or if you know that there's a worldwide recession and discretionary spending is low and you have a high value product, it's not the right time. It's probably going to fail or it might have limited success simply because the times are not right. So think carefully about or measure and consider the economic variables in the market before considering when to release the product. Cost is not necessarily the cost of the end product. This as a factor is actually about the cost involved in generating the product. So it is highly likely that to innovate, it costs money through research and development of the product, a lot of money, particularly if it is a really disruptive innovation. Think about how long Apple took to create the iPhone or the original iPod. It was a 10-year journey to reach that point. But obviously the benefits are incomprehensible for that company, but they went through a lot of hard times to get there. And if you are a business that does not have the financial resources to do that, it's going to put a lot of strain on the ability of the business to function because you've got to allocate resources, often scarce, to making this a success. When I was teaching this, the best example of a failed marketing strategy is Coke New. So back in the day, Coke thought they would basically create a whole new recipe for the product. It failed miserably. So when releasing innovations to the market, you've really got to think carefully about the marketing strategy that is used to promote that product. You may need to build awareness in your customers about the product. Sometimes businesses just get it wrong. Another one, Vegemite. Back in the day, they tried to reinvent Vegemite and whack cheese in it. Didn't work. A couple of years ago, barbecue shapes, new recipe, didn't work. So really, to make your marketing strategy has to be on point. It has to be well researched to ensure that the innovation works and doesn't fail based on consumer preferences. So this is the weird one. So how is technology a factor limiting the success of innovation? Well, if your business does not have access to that technology, clearly that's going to limit the ability for the innovation to succeed. However, on the flip side, it does provide stimulus for innovation. I guess you have to think about how you can use the technology correctly through marketing and distribution to ensure the success of innovation. You potentially have to ensure that your leadership team has the right outlook in relation to technology to use it effectively. If that's not there, then potentially that may limit the success of the product. 2023, this came up a couple of times. I'd put, if I was a betting man, I would put my money on in 2025, innovation will come up somewhere in the exam. It is a sure thing. I'll be very surprised if it doesn't. Some pretty simple questions for you from 2023. I'm not going to go through it in great detail, but just look again at the structure of the answers. So if you want to pause the video, you can, but you can see here, particularly with question B, you really have to explain. So the green is really a degree of explanation. I try and teach kids to always start with a definition of the concept which you are discussing. For example, in question A there, it is what is actually process innovation before you actually get onto its role. I think that's always a good way to start. It does earn you a mark when you look at the marking key because you are stating a fact about it, but really read the question carefully, look what the focus is, and then shape your answer using the verb to help you. So we're explaining in this case how innovation can lead to a global market presence, and you can see just in the size of the explanation there what the focus is. So very big topic. Please get on top of it. Please use the terminology from the syllabus to help frame your answer. That is very much looked upon favourably. I can pretty much guarantee it'll be in the exam somewhere this year.